I'd been lying awake in bed. I couldn't sleep through the night, and I was waiting for sunrise and for the birds to sing. When the sunrise and the birds sing, you can go, all right, and fall asleep. And the birds never sang. And it frightened me so much that I was just like, oh my God, I've got to do something.
It's one of the most notorious areas in Manchester. It's got a bad reputation.
Moss Side has a really, it's had a reputation of being quite a tough, tough area type thing. It's had some troubles, but it's not like that anymore.
I'm not going to lie. Manchester, well, Moss Side did have a reputation every week, every other week. There were a lot of shootings and stuff. That was over 10 years ago.
En bydel under væsentlig forandring. Grønne projekter vokser frem overalt som oaser i en ørken af asfalt og cement. På det stenfyldte areal, hvor der tidligere lå en busremise, fylder plantekasser og hjemmelavet højbede i dag landskabet. Spæde frugttræer visler i vinden. Den fysiske forandring går ud af et fælles projekt, hvor naboer, børn og voksne bidrager med arbejdskraft, entusiasme og planter.
So, well, first of all, my name's Jo Wilkes. I'm a resident in Moss Side. I have been for the last 10 years, and I live just literally that house over there. So this is like my front garden. I can see it. And when I moved into the area, I knew that the bus depot would be going, but we didn't know what we were going to have on here, and I wanted to make sure that we got a say as a community about what could happen on the site. And one of the things that I'm really trying to do is try and bring people together, because in fun ways, and so that we can actually do projects together and see action, because people don't want boring meetings, they want to see action happen. So that's the kind of the idea behind the project, is that we can bring people together and show them action, but also to get a stronger community voice, so that when things do happen, we're more likely to be listened to. And because it's an amazing community in Moss Side, and there's a load of things going on here, this is why the project, it's growing, it's developing. There's no set plans of what happens. It depends on what people come to us with and say, I'd like to do this, and we go, right, okay, tell me what you want to do then. I'll help you do it. And that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, which is why, again, the core team is always growing. In these urban areas, it's concrete everywhere, and we need to bring the biodiversity back into the city. And that's, another reason why, one thing that I'm loving is, with the site being overgrown and like this, we're getting so much more wildlife and birds.
Over for busremisen har den lokale ildsjæl Phil startet et byhaveprojekt, hvor hønsene står for 6 æg per pund. Igennem 10 år er området vokset i takt med fællesskabet. En jungle af grøntsager. Det lokale forrådskammer forsyner med økologiske fødevarer.
We started this 2.5 years ago. It was an initiative from a social housing group called Actors and the City Council, where a lot of this was overgrown. It was an eyesore, and we were asked would be interested in creating a community allotment. and we grow organically. And it's the importance of building a community as well as growing food and giving people access to cheap, fresh, organic food, which otherwise they would not. And we're trying to build a community where we have people from all different walks of life, different religions, all come together to create that community, which is a much needed thing in anywhere to build a community. We try and work with nature. We don't use no chemicals. We produce all our own fertiliser, liquid fertiliser. We want to work with nature, encourage beneficial insects, bees, create a pond to attract wildlife. So it's going to be an ongoing process. So we're never going to get to the end, really. It's bringing people together because I think that people need support. There's people in the community that feel alone. They don't talk to their neighbours like they used to. This is an opportunity for them to come to a place, make friends, bring down barriers that do exist, fear barriers. We're frightened to talk to people, and it works.
Alexandra Park. Den store folkepark i Mosside. Et grønt åndehul. En ventil fra storbyens pulserende liv. Åbne græsarealer med plads til sport og leg. Vildt tilgroede områder, næsten som en skovtur. Fugleliv og skildpadder. I parken møder vi Debbie, en planlægger fra kommunen, og Lotte, en bruger for Friends of Alexandra Park.
The park is a really beautiful green space. It's 60 acres. It's got a tree population of about 1,500 trees. It borders on two very different communities.
Geographically in Manchester it sits across 4 wards. The city's split into different wards, so it sits in Whalley Range, Moss Side, Fallowfield and Hume. They're the 4 parts of Manchester that would come and use the park. So that's where our audience comes from.
I think parks are one of the few public spaces in the city where everybody's welcome. I think that kind of really, there's a lot of different people. If you do look at city spaces, some are just for city dwellers or, office people, or, parks really kind of is a neutral space where everybody can enjoy, their beautiful surrounding it and get out of the city.
A lot of houses around here don't have back gardens, so a lot of certainly different areas of the park, the housing around it got a lot of social housing that doesn't necessarily have their own green space. And I think in terms of your mental health, coming out and getting some peace and quiet, or an area to exercise, and just for your general health and well-being, to be in an open space is good. Is really good, especially if you can't get that where you live.
You really feel, hugged by all these trees, and you can really get away from, the hustle and bustle.
I rely on a walk or two a day through a green area.
I can never say that there's enough green space. You can always have more, I think.
It gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of you live there, and it builds relationships between people.
But you got to be on my side. Only on my side you get the best.